Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. The groom who lost his bride to stars. Once upon a time, like there was a groom and a bride. They were destined to be like pairs. So like once how it all started was like first like the groom was looking the groom's family was looking for a nice wife. So then they met the bride. So like they arranged a wedding in a day that there was like a star that was very close to them. So the rich family, the he was rich, so the rich family had a a person who can look at the stars. So he said when it was the wedding day, he looked at all the charts and he said to the rich family, "Oh, rich family, please forgive me. I had looked at my charts and I saw that today is not a good day for a wedding, and if it was, if you did have a wedding, it'll be a terrible one." So when like they they heard that, they were so scared that they stayed home, and bride's the bride's family came to the wedding spot and then waited for a few hours and they hadn't showed up. So then there then they said that the groom has picked the date and time, but he hasn't come. So we will forgive it. We will not wait any longer. We will not wait a long time. So they wanted the bride to marry a good, hardworking man. So they went and set off to find another, and then the other couple married. So like when the groom arrived at the city bride of the bride city, so they asked the village men, where is the where is the bride? Then like they said, you already set the date and the time and you never showed up. So she has married another hard-working man. So when they heard that, they said that they said that, well, can I at least see her? Then the people in the village said no, because she didn't want to see you again. So she was lucky to find another one. So then there was like an old man passing by and saw them fighting and arguing. So he said, that was an unlucky day. So you were lucky you had that person with you to tell you. So you were lucky to have that, and it wasn't from the stars. Um, it was from the bride, because if if you hadn't chose the date and the time, and without her, you could have married her in the wrong date and time, and you could have had a bad wedding. So like he told them that, and the rich family was finally learning their lesson. So the summary of the story is there was like a bride and a groom. They were planning to get married, but then like the bride said the time and the day, and the rich family agreed, and like when it was time, the person about astronomy, he said that it was a bad time, so the groom and the family were very scared, so they stayed home. And then the bride's family said that they were waiting for too long, and then they were finding another one. So like when that happened, like the bride said she didn't want to see him ever again. So the bride's family said, let's go find another one. Then when that happened, the village and people in the bride city and the groom's family were arguing because he wanted to see the bride. So like the the bride was very, very, very mad. So but the groom's family was lucky because of the bride made up the time. So like they had learned a lesson from a wise man passing by, and the moral is that luck comes from actions, not from stars. An example is that there was like a person I saw, and like I wish like I saw like on like televisions, on like cartoons, like when I was little I saw them wish like to the stars, but like I tried doing that for luck, but it didn't work. So that's when I learned that it came from actions, but not from stars. Another story is like there was there there another example is that there was like a person like who was very, very, very lucky, but he thought it came from the stars, but he always didn't notice that he was doing the actions to make the luck. So when he wished on the star, like he did the action and it worked, but once he wished to a star, but he didn't do action, so it did not work. So finally he had learned the lesson of that comes from actions, not from stars. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.
Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. The Silent Buddha. Once upon a time, there was a rich man in India. His father had passed away, and he had inherited his father's wealth and became a very rich man. He thought, why should I keep all this treasure to myself when I can just share the benefits with everyone? So then he opens the gate. He built gates around the city, north, east, south, and west, and fed anyone and gave food to anyone who was hungry. Near there were the Vanads. There was a Buddha that was in the forest, and meditating. He went into a deep meditate for 7 days, and when he came back, he was starving and almost died. So when the man was about to eat his lunch, the Buddha came and raised his bowl for alms. When the man saw that, he told his servants to go get food for the Buddha. The Buddha was very silent. When the Buddha was sitting down, the servant went to get the food and bring it to the Buddha. On his way there, in between the servant and the Buddha was a was a was a god of death who really wanted to kill the Buddha, the silent Buddha, because he was the enlightenment. And at first, he couldn't kill the Buddha because the Buddha did not think about his future life and did not worry about his death. But since the Buddha was about to die from starvation, the demon grew very strong. He then cast a line of fire that scared the servant. To the servant, it looked like a entrance to the hell worlds. He ran back to the man. The man asked him why did he come back with all the food and didn't give it to the Buddha. He told the Buddha that about the lava, about the fire, and he didn't believe him. He thought he must be dreaming. So then he brought in his other servants to give the food to the Buddha, but they all came back telling the same stories. The the man thought this must be the work of the god of death. When he came over there, he indeed saw a line of fire that looked like the entrance to the hell world. He said to the god, "Is that you, God? Is that you, the god of death, that is doing this?" Yes, he replied with, "Yes, it is." And the man asked, "Why do you do this?" And the god of death replied that I have not killed. I need to kill the Buddha, and because I know I must bring death to him. Because at first he did not think about his future life and did not worry about death. So I was very weak. Now that he came back from his very deep meditation, this is my chance to bring death to him. The man thought and said that my determination to give alms to the Buddha is stronger than your power. I will I will over I will defeat you and bring the food to the Buddha. So then, right when he was about to, he since he had a determination and wanted to really give the food to the Buddha, suddenly he was in a lotus flower the floating above the fire. The Buddha saw and took the blessing and hold took out his bowl and held it up in the air. The rich man poured the food into his bowl and had some blessings. The the demon knew he was defeated, and the man was very happy of what he has done to help the Buddha survive. Because of his determination, he was able to help the Buddha and defeat the demon that tried to kill the Buddha. The moral of this story is that have no fear when doing wholesome deeds. An example of this is that I had a friend who was always determined to do something. When he said that he was going to do something, he did it. And one day, he was determined to get good grades on his test. So he just decided to work very hard. Some people who didn't really like him and thought that and didn't think very good about him started making fun of him and telling him about how he would never be able he would never be able to get good grades, and he was very determined and did not have any fear in doing what he was going to do to help his parents, because he if when he gets good grades, it would make his parents very proud, and he thought it was very good. So he had no fear and did good on the test, and he made his parents proud. And another example of this is that when is a book that I read in a library was that there were a bunch of friends, and there was this one person who wanted to help. In the group there was one person who saw that there was an animal that was stuck in the fence. He tried to help it, but other people doubted him and said that he would not be able to do it because he was weak. When he heard it, he was very he that made him very determined to help the animal that was stuck in the fence, because he really wanted to help and do a good wholesome deed for the animal that was stuck in the fence. So he tried his best to get the animal out, while other his friends started laughing at him because he thought he was very foolish. And in the group, some people supported him, which helped him more and more power and energy to help the. He would twist the fence and he would pull it wide enough for the animal to escape. And he would, since he had no fear, he was able to do the wholesome deed and was very happy. And then when once he finished, the people who supported him said that the people who told the people who didn't support him that they were very foolish and they didn't believe him that he would be able to save the animal from the fence, and he was very happy that he did a wholesome deed to save an animal. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bổn Sư Thích Ca Mâu Ni Phật.